Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from St. Peter's Field in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under division summer baseball contest between hosting Cambridge and visiting Brookline. Well, folks, it's the dawn of a new summer season here in 2026, and I thank you all so much for tuning in to my broadcasts of this Lou Tompkins All-Star League season once again. Brookline entering this season coming off a league runner-up finish last year, but having lost a significant number of key members of last year's team. So we're going to see some new faces stepping up for Brookline, both guys who were more role players last year that are now going to have to be leaders, and guys who were either riding the pine or not even a member of the team last year that are going to have to step up in much bigger roles. They'll be facing off against Cambridge today. Last year, these two teams faced off in Brookline. Brookline getting the win 4-0 in that one behind a 7-inning complete game shutout from Will Buchholz, who collected 11 strikeouts. Buchholz not back with Brookline this summer, so that's another big presence Brookline's going to be looking to replace here this year on the mound. So let's take a look at the, as we get ready, we see Cambridge warming up in the field. You know, the umps are on their way. They'll be ready for us soon as we'll be getting ready to start the top of the first inning. Before we get this game started, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The pantry has been serving an average of 700 households each week from their 3 pantry locations in the Brookline area. They also have a number of programs associated with the public schools of Brookline, making sure that Brookline students get the food they need throughout the school week and also food that they can take home with them over the weekend. They are always looking for more people willing to fight the good fight against hunger in our community. They're always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether that be through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made at United Parish at 210 Harvard Street in Coolidge Corner on Wednesdays and Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monetary donations can be made online at the Food Pantry's website, brooklinefoodpantry.org. Go online or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can volunteer with the food pantry and help feed your community. Once again, that's brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. And all that information, link, and phone number can be found in the description section of this video down below. Cambridge finishing their pregame warm-ups in the field. They'll soon take the field again for the top of the first inning here. We had a couple of false starts for the start of this season. This game was originally supposed to be played on Monday, but that game got rained out. Then on Tuesday, Brookline was supposed to play at Winchester, but Winchester double-booked their field. So even though on the turf field at Winchester, they probably could have played through the rain, logistical issues prevented that from happening. So instead, here we are with the actual season opener for Brookline today, taking on Cambridge. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for today, starting with visiting Brookline. Leading off for Brookline today, the second baseman, number 19, Leo Vankoski. Batting second, the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Batting third, the shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DiPaolo. Batting cleanup, the center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 12, Theo Bruin. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 3, Danny Carballo. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. Batting eighth, the extra hitter, number 21, Cook Ryan. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 27, Jonah Cohen. And batting 10th and starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 9, Eli Gewurz. Head coach of the Brookline 18 and under baseball team is John Busey. So that is the starting lineup for Brookline today in their season opener for this 2026 season. Now let's quickly go through the starting lineup for the Cambridge team. Now, Cambridge, they gave me first names and field positions and their batting order. Didn't get jersey number. Apparently some kids are wearing the same jersey number. Just, whatever you can get to work logistically for this summer ball, you work with what you can, and that's what we're going to do on this broadcast. So, leading off for Cambridge, the center fielder, Oliver. Batting second and playing second for Cambridge, Hugo. Batting third, the first baseman, Cam. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, Jake. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Nico. Batting sixth, the extra hitter, Javi. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Campbell. Batting eighth, the catcher, Armando. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Issei. And batting 10th, the right fielder, Liam. We got our first note in the live chat of this 2026 summer season coming from Joanna Fricky saying, "Let's go Brookline, you can do it." Thank you so much for tuning in, Joanna. I hope you enjoy this broadcast. Hope to get the chance to have Sam join me on some broadcasts as this summer season goes on. As you can see, the coaches and umps having their pregame meeting at home plate to discuss things before we get this one started. In the top of this first inning, Brookline will be coming to the plate. They'll be sitting their top 3 hitters, Leo Vankowski, Noah Klein, and Jimmy DiPaolo, to the plate to start off against the Cambridge starting pitcher, Issei. Like I said, a lot of top hitters not returning for Brookline this year. Amongst some of those top contributors, Max Manukin, Jackson Fantuzzi, Jonathan Liu, Caden Sheehan, Keenan Sawada, and Devin Chin, all big pieces on offense, not coming back. Some of them aged out. I'm pretty sure that Caden Sheehan and Keenan Sawada and Devin Chin all aged out. And some others not returning. Some might have aged out. Some might simply be playing for a different club. Might just simply be playing ball elsewhere. But like I said, that just means that some new guys are going to have to step up. And of course, at one of the key positions they'll need some players to step up will be on the bump, as Will Buckholz, who led last year's summer team in total pitching appearances, total starts, wins, innings pitched, strikeouts, and had an ERA below 2 over 34 1/3 innings pitched. A very impressive summer campaign from him last year. He's not back this year, so they're going to need some new guys to step up. And a lot of the team's top hitters not returning as well. Mayfield-Sheehan led the team in walks and RBI last year. Keenan Sawada led the team in hits, doubles, hit by pitches, and stolen bases, as well as batting average and on-base percentage. He had a narrow lead in both of those latter two categories over Devin Chin, who was also in a tight race with Sawada for the team lead in stolen bases, and just barely beat out Sawada for the team lead in runs scored. Chin and Sawada combined for 40 runs scored for the team last year. Add in Sheehan's 15 runs scored, and that's a 55 of the team's total 132 runs scored between just those three. So those are three big offensive presences that Brookline's going to be missing this summer. And again, they're going to have to ask some new guys to step up and fill that void. All right, looks like the warm-ups have finished, and we're ready to get this new season underway. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 19, Leo Vankoski. First pitch of the season, Vankoski chases it low for strike one. You can see Vankoski's stats from last summer at the bottom middle of your screen. As he lifts this one into center field, center fielder rushes in and makes the catch. Oliver tracking that down for out number one. You can see last year Vankoski, a slash line of .375 batting average and slugging, a .531 on base percentage, 6 runs scored, and 11 RBI. But he flies out to center to start the 2026 campaign. Now batting the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein, as he takes a low ball one. Klein last summer had a batting average of .298, an on base of .411, and a slugging of .426. Led the team in triples with 2, while also posting 4 steals, 13 runs scored, and 14 RBI. So he's one of the big leaders from last year, returning for this Brookline squad offensively as he takes a high ball 3. Klein, of course, a very patient hitter. He's not going to give you anything easy. Klein takes all the way for strike one. Basic fundamentals when you got a 3-0 count. A lot of times batters don't even bother swinging because you still have a chance to get ball 4. But now Klein swings, sends a bouncer just foul up the first base line. That'll be strike 2. Issei trying to battle his way back from the 3-0 count. Payoff pitch upcoming. Breaking ball drops in the zone. And Klein goes down on strikes. He thought he had ball 4, but no dice there. Two outs to start. Now coming up, the shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DiPaolo. DiPaolo takes a high ball 1. DiPaolo did not play for the summer team last year, but he was a big contributor for the Brookline High School Warriors baseball team this past spring. Was putting together an electric senior season before a wrist injury prematurely ended the season for him, but he starts off the summer well, lines a shot bouncing into the gap in left center. Jimmy DiPaolo comes in with a stand-up double. Jimmy DiPaolo could be one of the big new contributors on offense for this Brookline team, and he's already making a strong impression with his very first plate appearance of the summer. Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Max Kaufman. Takes strike one there. Kaufman last summer, batting average .423, on base .545, slugging .654. As he lifts a shot into right. Oh, what a jumping catch at second base by Hugo, as he robs Kaufman of a hit and robs Brookline of a run. So Brookline threatens but cannot score. And we go to the bottom of the first inning with no runs on the board. Now taken to the hill for Brookline for his first start of this summer season, number 9, Eli Gewurz. Gewurz did not start any of his 7 pitching appearances last year, always coming out of the bullpen last summer. Pitched a total of 9 1/3 innings, an ERA of just 0.75, a whip of 1.07, and 9 strikeouts. So a guy that's going to have to step up in a much bigger role on the bump here could serve as a bit of a bridge to him playing potentially a bigger role on the mound for the Brookline High squad next spring if he can prove himself here. That was kind of the pathway that Ben Cody took a couple years before him. You know, he was kind of an unassuming role player out of the bullpen as a junior, I believe it was, and then he had an amazing summer season in the summer of 2024, I believe it was. And then the following spring, Cody was the top guy on the hill for the Brookline High Warriors squad in the spring of 2025. So, you know, this summer season can serve as an important developmental bridge season for the upcoming spring campaigns for some of these youngsters. Leading off for Cambridge here in the bottom of the first, the center fielder, Oliver. Oliver wearing number 14, fouls off the first pitch from Gewurz, strike one. That one going to skip in the dirt. Ball one. Now, I did mention these two teams played last summer. Unfortunately, I didn't have names for the Cambridge players, as that one misses high and away for ball two. So unfortunately, I don't have any stats to give from that game for the Cambridge players. Might have some stats for some of the Brookline players. Hard grounder foul up the first base line. That'll be strike two to Oliver. Oliver made a nice catch out in center in the top half of the first, putting out Leo Vankowski to start the inning on what could have potentially been a shallow single had it dropped a little faster. Fouls that one off, stays alive, chasing it kind of high and away there. Remember, fans, if you know of any Brookline baseball fans that aren't tuning in to watch this one, feel free to share the stream link with them. I know not as many people tune in for the summer games as they do for the spring, but still want to let people know that this is here to watch. This grounder is going to stay in fair territory, scooped up easily by Noah Klein at first for the unassisted put out there. One down, base is empty, and now up comes the second baseman, Hugo. Hugo, I believe, is wearing number 2 today. And he's had the best defensive play of anyone so far in this contest as he takes strike 1 there. He had that big leaping catch, robbing Max Kaufman of what looked like it was going to be an RBI single to right. Instead, it ended up being the 3rd out of the inning. High ball 1 there off the fastball from Gewurz. The field lights already turned on out here in Cambridge, as they're probably on a clock more than anything. But the sun's still not down, as it sticks around a lot longer in the summer. Breaking ball there from Gewurz drops into the zone for strike 2. 1-2 the count. This one lifted into right. That's going to drop in for a base hit there. Hugo off to a great start to this game. First, the great play on defense in the top half, and now he's got a 1-out single. First base hit of the day for Cambridge. Now batting the first baseman, Cam. One out. Hugo taking a lead off of first. And he's going to go on the first pitch. It's a high one. Carballo throws down to second. Oh, what a beautiful throw. And he got him. Hugo trying to be aggressive on the base pads and eliminate the potential double play force. But instead, it was a high fastball, the perfect pitch to throw down to second on, and Danny Carballo comes through with a big laser throw down to second, and Leo Vankowski with a great catch and tag. That throw was perfectly placed by Carballo to get the runner out there. That one missed. I think the count is 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. I think it was a foul ball that I missed while I was busy talking about the play at second. That one's going to be high, ball 3. Gewurz showing a bit of a tendency to have his fastballs come in high. And that one looks like a breaking ball that just didn't break on him. That's going to be a high ball 4. So we got a runner at first as Cam, like Hugo, wearing number 2, I guess, if that was Cam. Attempted pickoff throw. Runner dives back safe. Now batting the left fielder, Jake. And that's going to be a wild pitch. That got away from Carballo, went off the tip of his glove. Cam moves into scoring position. So that'll easily be ball 1. Gewurz has got to get his pitches down. A lot of them have been coming in high. That one hits the zone perfectly. Strike 1. Chases that one. Strike 2. Runner's going for third, and it's lifted out to left on the hit and run. It's going to drop in, and Cambridge will get on the board first off the RBI single from Jake. The hit and run with 2 outs works perfectly for the home team. Jake drives in Cam there. Now batting the shortstop, Nico. I think that pitch was ball 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. That breaking ball drops a little too low, ball 2. 2-1 the count, 2 down, runner at first. That one's going to miss, high for ball 3. One thing you don't want to do is get in the habit of giving your opponent free bases. So far, just 1 walk allowed by Gewurz, but 2 base hits. And now it's 2 walks as Nico will trot down to first. This is how blow-up innings can happen sometimes, and head coach John Busey recognizing that as he calls for a timeout. Brings the whole infield in for a meeting with Gewurz. Just try and settle the guy down, be like, hey, you got hit a couple of times, but that doesn't mean you stop throwing strikes. Got to play the percentages, and the percentages in baseball are that most batted balls are going to result in an out. Cambridge with a 1-0 lead over Brookline here in the bottom of the first. They got runners at first and second with 2 down, as up comes the extra hitter, Javi. That pitch just a bit low, ball 1. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. Fouls that one off, strike 2. Gewurz hitting the zone a little better now. Finds himself ahead in the count, 1-2. And got jammed on that one. A slow bouncer to second, fielded by Vankowski. Thrown to first, and that will end the inning. Cambridge strung a number of base runners together there in the bottom of the first. But they kind of went 50-50 on their aggressive base running, with 1 runner caught stealing second and 1 taking advantage of a hit-and-run play to score. And so at the end of 1, our score, Cambridge 1, Brookline 0. Brookline will have Bruin, Carballo, and Hellendrung coming up to the plate. So in the first inning, we saw coming to the plate for Brookline some of their top returners from last year. Now this inning, we're going to see some guys that didn't get as many chances to step up. They were more role players and depth players last year, but are now going to have a real chance to step up this summer. All right, leading off. Leading off for Brookline as he takes strike one. That is the right fielder, number 12, Theo Bruin. And got kind of fooled on the off speed there. Strike two. Bruin, his first season here for this Lou Tompkins team. As that one comes in over his head for ball one. So Bruin, one of those guys with a chance to step into a bigger role this summer. And that one, again, does not break well for Issei, the Cambridge pitcher. Bruin slices that one foul. Out of play. He stays alive. Still a 2-2 count. And that one skips in the dirt. Issei, after getting out ahead in the count on Bruin, he's having a little bit of trouble with his control. Missed a couple ones wild high, and now that one wild low. Full count here. Bruin, a kind of a check swing pop-up. And it goes foul and out of play. Bruin continuing to fight here to start off the second inning. And that one comes in high. And Theo Bruin, with his first plate appearance as a member of this Lou Tompkins 18 and under team, he draws a leadoff walk. Now batting, the catcher, number 3, Danny Carballo. Issei throws back to first to check on Bruin, and he was a little slow to get back there. He's got to be a little quicker on the next one, or he might get caught. First pitch to Carballo comes in high for ball one. Last summer, Carballo, a batting average and slugging percentage of just .273. Solid, but nothing amazing, but a high on-base percentage of .600 as he takes strike one there. Also had 1 steal, 1 run scored, and 4 RBI, so not the most explosive numbers as he kind of was in a platoon at the catcher spot with Fantuzzi. Bruin is taking off as Carballo fouls that one off. Strike two. Bruin will have to go back to first. Carballo in the spring came off the bench to play a critical role for Brookline High as their starting second baseman in his freshman campaign. Nice look at the breaking ball from Carballo there for ball two. So the rolls on the diamond just keep getting bigger for Danny Carballo as his career goes on. Runner goes again, outside ball three, and Bruin successful on the steal of second. He moves into scoring position. Theo Bruin making a good impact offensively to start. Carballo pops one into shallow right, and it's tracked by Hugo once again. He's been fielding well out there as the second baseman out in shallow right. First out of the inning. And a timeout is called as coming up next for Brookline, the third baseman, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. Coach might be trying to settle down Issei after he had back-to-back full counts to start the inning. Again, it's so important that your pitcher stay under control and not give your opponent free bases. First pitch to Hellendrung misses outside, ball one. Hellendrung last year as an 8th grader playing for the 18U team. We got a balk. A balk called on Issei, and Bruin gets a free pass to third. Wow, you don't see that called every day. So a runner at third, a big chance for Brookline to tie the game as Hellendrung lifts one deep out to left center. It is caught. Bruin's going to tag. He's heading for the plate, and he will come in. Bryce Hellendrung with his first summer season RBI. Driving in Theo Bruin with the tying run on the sac fly. So a couple new names stepping up for Brookline to equalize the score. Now batting, a new name and a new face for this Brookline summer team. The extra hitter, number 21, Cook Ryan. Ryan takes strike one there. That one misses high and away, ball one. Hellendrung, you might have seen last year, had 0 RBI, but did have 3 runs scored with a sub-200 batting average. But his first plate appearance of the 2026 campaign, he drives in a tying run. So already looking like he could be a bigger contributor this season. Meanwhile, Issei struggling with control again as Ryan finds himself ahead in the count, 3-1. Ryan hits a chopper over to third, fielded clean, a long throw to first, just barely beats him out. Wasn't able to leg out that last step to first to beat the throw, and the 5-3 ground out will end the inning. But Brookline ties the score at 1 apiece. We move to the bottom of the second. Due up for Cambridge will be Campbell, Armando, and Issei. Gewurz back on the hill after a bit of a shaky first inning. Managed to limit the damage to just 1 run, but had some big help from his catcher, Danny Carballo, with a clutch throw down to second to stop a runner from stealing. He did give up 2 hits and 2 walks in that first frame. And for Brookline, they'll be hoping to see him a little more under control with his pitches. Both pitchers have had their shakiness in terms of finding the strike zone. In the top of the second, we saw that manifest with Issei giving up a leadoff walk, having a lot of batters facing a 3-ball count. 3 of the 4 batters he faced, as a matter of fact, in that top of the second inning, got 3 balls, but only 1 walk, so he was able to limit the damage as well. Now to start off this inning, Gewurz going to miss high for ball 1. Leading off for Cambridge is the third baseman, Campbell. Tips that one into the catcher's glove for strike 1. Campbell fielded the ground out that ended the top half of the inning. 1-1 pitch coming here. Hits a chopper right back to the mound. Gewurz going to take it himself and flip to first for the first out of the inning. Good fielding by Gewurz on the bump to start off the inning. We got one out here as up comes the catcher, Armando. First pitch going to miss low and in for ball one. And misses low again for ball two. Gevirtz had a lot of trouble in the first inning with missing pitches high. So if you're a Brookline fan, you certainly hope he doesn't overcompensate too much and miss a bunch of pitches low. Draws another chopper, snagged at short by DePaulo. Long throw to first, barely caught, but Klein could not get his foot down. As legging out what I think will be scored as an infield single is Armando. It's either an infield hit or an E6. It actually might be more likely an E6 as the throw did pull the first baseman off the bag. So might be a bit harsh, but I think you would score that in E6. Now batting the pitcher, Issei. A low throw for the pickoff from Gevirtz. Fielded off the bounce by Klein, but Armando dives back safe. Got to be careful with those pickoff throws. You want to go low for the tag, but those lower throws are harder for the first baseman to collect, and if it gets away from him, well, then that's a free base for the opponent. Swing and a miss by Issei for strike one. That one also hits the zone, and Gevirtz quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. Runner at first, one out. And Issei, kind of a half-hearted swing as he goes down on strikes. 2 down now, and up comes the right fielder, Liam. The last batter in the Cambridge order to face Gevirtz for the first time as he fouls off strike one there. Brookline, meanwhile, will also be sending the bottom of their batting order to the plate in the top of the third after this. Another low throw on the pickoff from Gevirtz. And again, he's got to be careful as he's spiking those a bit. Klein is blocking them well, but if there's a throw that he doesn't block, that could be dangerous. That one going to miss just outside ball one. Carballo trying to frame that pitch, get it into the strike zone, but sometimes if you make too much of an effort to frame the pitch, I think it can work against you. That one off the catcher's face mask. Carballo picks it up. Throw to second is wild, and the runner steps up going for third. It's recovered in center field. Throw down beats him by a mile. Great backup job by Max Kaufman in center field. And once again, Brookline with some strong throwing on the base paths as they put an end to the bottom of the second inning. So to sum up how you score that one, Armando did steal second, so he does get a stolen base, but he was also caught stealing third. Well, you score that either a stolen, you'd score that more a wild pitch, actually, I think, rather than a stolen base, because he didn't take off until he saw the pitch skip in the dirt and skip away from Carballo. But irregardless, a great throw from center field by Max Kaufman. That's what they teach you to do in practice. You know, I remember getting that lesson in Little League back when I played, and I wasn't playing anywhere near the top level, so you know that these kids have learned it, no doubt, plenty of times in practice, that if you're in center field, your job on those plays at second on a steal, your job is to back it up and get ready to throw to third if the runner decides to take off. For Brookline, it'll be their 9-10-1 hitters. Cohen, Gevirtz, and Vankowski. Warm-ups are done. Leading off for Brookline here in the top of the third, the left fielder, number 27, Jonah Cohen. First pitch misses outside, ball one. The ump's not giving the pitchers a lot on that outside corner. We've seen both pitchers miss a ton in that spot. Cohen slices that one foul, strike one. Cohen last summer, limited appearances at the plate. He went 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Figures to play a bigger role this summer. Chases that ball high for strike 2. Some festive music coming in behind us here at what I think is Danahy Park, as Cohen chases that one for strike 3. One out, and now up comes the Brookline pitcher, number 9, Eli Gewurz. We saw the pitcher versus pitcher matchup going in the other direction in the previous half inning. Issei went down on strikes against Gewurz. Now Gewurz fouls off the first pitch he sees from Issei for strike 1. Last summer, Gewurz at the plate went 0 for 9 with 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, 4 runs scored, and 1 RBI. That one skips in the dirt for ball 1. A little bit behind that one for strike 2. One and two, the count to Gewurz. And gets fooled on the breaking ball there. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Issei here in the top of the third, and now we cycle around to the top of the Brookline order with the second baseman, number 19, Leo Vankowski. First pitch jams him inside as he fouls it off for strike 1. Vankowski flew out to center to lead off the game back in the top of the first. 0 for 1 so far today. That one comes in high, didn't break enough, ball 1. So weird to say today when it's like it is technically nighttime. It's 7:40 p.m., but the sun is still so bright out as Vankowski lifts this one to center. This time drops a little bit faster. And Vankowski in a similar spot to where he flew out his first time up, this time drops in the single. So the second time in 3 innings that Brookline has gotten a 2-out base hit. Now up comes the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Golfs the first pitch he sees into foul territory and out of play. Klein went down on strikes his last time up. Vankowski taking off for second. Klein lifts it deep out to right, way back towards the fence. It's off the wall. Vankowski off to the races. He's going to wheel around for home. Klein going to hold at second with a go-ahead RBI double. Two big 2-out hits for Brookline coming off of 2 of their big returners from last summer. Vankowski and Klein combine for back-to-back hits to generate the go-ahead score. 2-1 Brookline leads as DePaulo fouls off the first pitch he sees for strike 1. The shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DiPaolo. He got a 2-out double his last time up, but was left stranded. Takes that one high for ball 1. Big opportunity to drive in a run for DiPaolo here if he gets good contact again. That one skips in the dirt. Well blocked by Armando behind the plate. To prevent Klein from getting a free base there, it'll simply be ball 2. DiPaolo rips one deep out to left again. Left fielder looking up as that goes over the wall. Jimmy DiPaolo says sayonara baseball. It's a 2-run shot over the left field fence. What a start to the summer season for Jimmy DiPaolo. A 2-out double his last time up. Now a 2-out, 2-run homer to left his second time up. And just like that, Brookline leads 4-1. Max Kaufman fouls off the first pitch he sees for strike 1. Kaufman almost got an RBI single his last time up, but was robbed by a nice catch from the second baseman, Hugo. That's a high ball 1, and man, I'll tell you, that's the second Jimmy DiPaolo home run I've called in a few months, as he sent one over the straightaway center field fence at Joe Campagna Diamond in Brookline back in the spring season for the Brookline High Warriors. Now he hits one for a home run here in the summer season. I haven't seen a home run hit by a Brookline batter in the summer season since 2020, the very first season I covered them. And that one was kind of a home run on a technicality, as they didn't have a fence at that field. It was just hit past some trees. Max Kaufman draws a walk. Brookline really putting something together here in the top of the third. Now batting the right fielder, number 12, Theo Bruin. Bruin got fooled inside for strike 1. Bruin drew a walk his last time up and later came in to score Brookline's first run of the day on the sac fly from Helendrung. He fouls off that one, and Kaufman going to have to retreat back to first base. We've seen the aggressive base running work out once for Brookline, as Vankoski going for the hit and run on Klein's double allowed Vankoski to come around from first to score. Kaufman trying again. That pitch going to miss for a ball, and Kaufman easily takes second, and the throw got away, and he is going to take third. Max Kaufman, he's got wheels, and he gets all the way from first to third on that pitch. Score that a stolen base of second, and then going to third on an E2. And that one well blocked by Armando as it skips in the dirt, ball 2. Anything gets by Armando, and Kaufman might be able to come in and score another run for Brookline. They've already got 3 runs this inning. Bruin slices it foul, stays alive at 2-2. Theo Bruin has shown a great ability to stay alive in the count so far this game, as he battled his way to that leadoff walk last inning. And another one. Bruin showing a lot of fight at the plate. Hasn't quite put one in play yet, though. Slices that one off the breaking ball. It's playable for... No, it's not playable. Armando trying to track that one. I think he got caught by the arching fence of the cage there. As Bruin just continuing to fight and foul off pitches. Still a 2-2 count. This one's in play. A hard grounder to third, fielded well by Campbell. Thrown to first in time for out number 3. But Brookline with some big cracks at the bat to break this one open. The visitors now lead 4-1. A 2-out single from Leo Vankowski. An RBI double to the wall from Noah Klein. A 2-run home run over the left field fence from Jimmy DiPaolo. And just like that, Brookline has got not only their first lead of the day, but the first multi-run lead from either team so far. For Cambridge, it'll be their 10-1 two-hitters, Liam, Oliver, and Hugo. Coming up here in the bottom half of the inning, Liam was at the dish to end the bottom of the second when Armando was caught trying to take third on a throwing error. Got caught by some great backup play and a great throw from center field by Max Kaufman. Leading off for Cambridge is Liam as he takes a skipping ball one in the dirt. Eli Gewurz now with a lead to work with. We'll see if maybe he can pitch a little bit more comfortably now that his team is ahead and the bats are working for him. That one fouled off for strike one by the Cambridge right fielder Liam. That one hits the zone, strike two. And that one in the zone for strike three. Eli Gewurz looking in control for that first batter of the bottom of the third. Puts him down on strikes. That is his second K of the day as we cycle around to the top of the order with the center fielder Oliver, who takes a high ball one. Oliver, his last time up, grounded out to first to lead off the bottom of the first inning. Takes ball two there. There is some action going in the Cambridge bullpen. I think it's Javi who's warming up. Might take over for Issei after a rough top of the third. Gewurz losing some of his control here against Oliver as he finds himself quickly behind in the count 3-0. That one down Broadway, though, and Oliver's taking it all the way. 3-1 the count. But the next one misses high for ball four. And that right there is exactly why you always, almost always take on a 3-0 pitch. Because even if they hit the zone and make it 3-1, they could still just, all they need to do is miss. And you've got yourself a free pass to first. Now batting the second baseman, Hugo. Got a single his last time up, but was caught stealing second as a high fastball there misses for ball one. Gewurz might be a little wary of Oliver at first, as this one popped up by Hugo out of play for a foul, strike one. 1-1 the count. One out, runner at first. Brookline leading Cambridge 4-1 here in the bottom of the third. Gewurz checks on Oliver at first. Now Oliver goes. Pitches a ball, throw down to second, not in time. Oliver beats the throw from Carballo. Had a great jump on that pitch. Even though it was still a pretty decent pitch to throw down on. Slightly high fastball there. Usually ideal for a throw down to second, but Hugo just got a really great jump to second. That one chased high by Hugo for strike two. Might have been expecting a little less height on the pitch now that the runner has already stolen. But Gewurz stayed high for strike two. Now skips in the dirt for ball three. A full count to Hugo. One out, runner at second. Fouled off as Hugo keeps battling here. And another one fouled off. Hugo jammed inside on the breaking ball, but still stays alive. And that one's going to skip in the dirt for ball four and also be a wild pitch, allowing Oliver to take third in the chaos. Back-to-back walks for Gewurz. We wondered if maybe he might be able to pitch a little more comfortably with the lead, and so far that has not been the case. Now batting the extra hitter, Cam. I thought he was playing first, but actually it was Javi playing first. Runner's going to go to second on the first pitch, and the pitch got away, and the runner's coming in, and another runner's going to third, and he slides in safe. Cambridge cuts into the Brookline lead off another wild pitch for Gewurz. A tough third inning for him. Score that, a stolen base for Hugo, then an advance on a wild pitch for both runners, and a run scored for Oliver. And you can score that pitch as ball two for Cam. Cam drew a walk his last time up, moved to second on a wild pitch, and then came in to score on a hit and run play off the RBI single from Jake. That pitch missing inside for ball three. Again, the umps not giving a lot of leeway to either pitcher on the inside and outside corners. That one in the zone for strike one. 3-1, the count to Cam here. Got jammed on this one. A slow bouncer to short. Got away from DePaulo. A weird bounce there. And Cam is going to reach on what is either an E6 or a single. Either way, still an RBI, I would say, because he would have either brought in a run on a single or on an RBI ground out. Either way, Cambridge cutting the lead down to one. We got another steal attempt, and Cam successfully getting up to second. Pitch itself was strike one. But just like that, the tying run in scoring position for Cambridge. As at the plate is the left fielder, Jake. Jake got an RBI single to left his last time up. Takes strike two there. Gevirtz got off to such a strong start with the strikeout on Liam, but then back-to-back walks, some wild pitches, and then the weird bounce off the grounder from Cam. As Gevirtz checks on Cam at second to keep him honest. Runner now going for third. It's a low ball. A wild throw from Carballo sails into left, and Cambridge will tie the game. Score that one as a steal of third for Cam, and then coming home on an E2 for the tying run. Base is now empty, a 1-2 count to Jake. And that one skips in the dirt for ball two. And that one skips low for ball four. I guess I lost track of the count there. I thought that was ball three, but I think, one of the pitches that I thought was a strike must have been a ball. Third walk of the inning allowed by Gevirtz. An attempted pickoff throw there. Now batting is the shortstop, Nico. Runner at first, one out. And another wild pitch from Gevirtz. And Jake will take second base easily. Timeout called by John Busey, and this might be the end of the night for Eli Gevirtz as his control just left him completely this inning. Brookline's got a couple potential relievers amongst their infielders. Noah Klein, an experienced pitcher for this summer team. Bryce Hellendrung saw some reps on the mound in the spring. But for now, it looks like they're going to stick with Gevirtz. They're going to keep him out there, see if he can settle in and escape the third inning. That pitch hits the zone, strike one. It's a 1-1 count to Nico. Last time up, Nico drew a walk. Low ball two. Chased that one low and I think got a piece of it. So no chance to advance on the wild pitch because it was a foul ball. Strike two. 2-2, the count to Nico. It's going to be a high ball three. Full count to Nico here. Payoff pitch coming from Gevirtz. Runner at second, one out. Chase the breaking ball, a grounder. Gevirtz just going to go to first and get the out. Had a brief look at third and decided he couldn't risk it. Jake had gotten too fast of a break from second to third. Low chance he would catch him, so decided to just get the out he knew he could get. Smart play there. First pitch to Javi, fouled off for strike one. Javi, the first baseman, grounded out to second to end the first inning. Think that one just missed low for ball one. And that one fouled off for strike two. That one misses, ball two. 2-2, the count to Javi. And that one just misses, ball three. A tight strike zone tonight. Full count here. And that misses inside, ball four. Gewurz was so close to getting out of the inning that time, but no dice as Javi gets the free pass to first. Now batting the third baseman, Campbell. Fastball in the zone there, strike one. Campbell grounded out to the pitcher, his last time up. Another well-placed fastball for strike two. Oh, and 2 the count. 2 down, runners at the corners. That one misses low, ball one. That one just misses high and away, ball two. And that one's going to miss for ball three as we go from an 0-2 count to a full count. And it's going to be ball four. So again, Gewurz with a strong pitcher's count and a chance to end the inning. Sees his control get away from him. And the bases are now loaded for the catcher, Armando. Armando reached on what I scored as a throwing error. Went second on a wild pitch, but then was caught stealing third. Takes strike one there. Gewurz has been starting off the at-bats well with the last couple batters, but control just keeps getting away from him as he allowed back-to-back walks. That one just missing, ball one. And that one misses over Armando's head, ball two. 5 walks issued so far this inning by Gewurz, and if he issues one more, that will bring in the go-ahead score with the bases loaded. And that one skips away. Runner's going to try on the wild pitch, and he is going to score, and Cambridge will take the lead. Jake in to score there. Javi down to third. Campbell up to second. And a 3-1 count now. And it's lined out to left. That'll bring in at least one. Campbell rounding third, headed for the plate. A 2-run single for Armando. And Cambridge has flipped the script completely in this inning. And that is going to be the end of the night, I think, for Gewurz. Was just one strike away on multiple occasions from getting out of the inning with the game at least tied. But instead, he will leave with his team trailing 7-4. Taking over on the hill for Gewurz will be number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. He did not pitch for the summer team last year, but he did pitch for the high school team this past spring. Had a couple of short appearances out of the bullpen. And I will say this inning has really shown, you know, the different forms that offense can take in baseball, especially in this summer league. You can get innings where you score runs off of really big swings of the bat, like the top of this third inning. We saw that big double to the wall from Klein, the home run over the fence from DePaulo. But then sometimes you see, you know, an inning where only one ball leaves the infield and you're able to put together 6 runs regardless because of a lot of walks, a lot of wild pitches, some aggressive base running. And you make it happen. I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't matter how explosive or small ball the method may be, the runs all count the same. And that's baseball. Now batting for Cambridge, the pitcher, Issei. Shows bunt, pulls back, and the first pitch from Hellendrung will miss for ball 1. This one's a chopper over to first, well snagged by Klein. He'll tag the bag, and that will end the inning. At the end of 3, the score, Cambridge 7, Brookline 4. Brookline looked like they had really broken the game open with the 3 runs they scored in the top of the third, but then Cambridge doubled up their output with a 6-run rally in the bottom half, catalyzed by 5 walks. And again, that's why one of your big fears at this level in this sport is when the control gets away from your pitcher. You know, you combine that with a tight strike zone, and it turns into a walk machine, and things can get away from you real fast. It'll be Carballo, Hellendrung, and Ryan coming up to the dish for Brookline. There will be a change on the mound for Cambridge here. They are going to have Javi take over. Takes over for Issei. So neither pitcher makes it to the 4th inning. In these 7-inning games, if you want to qualify for a pitching win as the starting pitcher, you have to last at least 4 innings. And neither pitcher reaches that mark tonight. Leading off for Brookline, the catcher, number 3, Denny Carballo. First pitch He golfs it into shallow right. Called for by the right fielder and makes the catch for out number 1. A quick 1 pitch, 1 out for Javi as Carballo flies out. Now it will be relief pitcher against relief pitcher. Stepping up for Brookline, number 2, Bryce Hellendrung. That first pitch misses for ball 1. Hellendrung got a sac fly his last time up. Tied the score at the time at 1-1. Very different score now as Hellendrung skies that one foul up the left field side for strike 1. Hellendrung fooled on the breaking ball there, strike 2. That one skips in around the shoelaces for ball 2. 2-2 the count. And that one skips in as well, ball 3. Full count to Hellendrung. Payoff pitch from Javi upcoming. And that one does not break on him. High ball 4, and Hellendrung gets the free pass down to first. 2 plate appearances, but 0 at-bats so far for Bryce Hellendrung, as he's got a sac fly and a walk. Now batting, the extra hitter, number 21, Cook Ryan, and he hits a bouncer over to second, and oh, bobbled. Hugo was trying to go for the quick flip to second, but he bobbled it on the exchange, and Ryan is going to reach on the E4. So Ryan gets a bit of a break there. Now batting, the left fielder, number 27, Jonah Cohen. Big swing, and Cohen fouls that one off. Strike 1. That one misses high and away, ball 1. Cohen, his last time up, went down on strikes to lead off the top of the 3rd. Big cut and a miss there, strike 2. Cohen winding up for these big swings, just having a little trouble timing him up. That one catches the inside corner, fools Cohen for strike 3. Now batting, I think is still Eli Gevertz, but I'm not sure if they maybe subbed someone in. That one hits the zone for strike 1. That one drops low for ball 1. So I'm not sure the exact defensive changes that Brookline made after subbing in Hellendrung at the hill for Gevertz, but I believe Gevertz is at the plate here, still in the game. Takes that one outside, ball 2. Gevertz went down on strikes his last time up. Now batting with runners at first and second and 2 out. Swings and misses. Runner goes. Hellendrung slides in. He's out. Coach Busey trying to debate a little bit, but that's not a debate he's going to win. Hellendrung caught stealing 3rd. That will end the top of the 4th inning. We move to the bottom of the fourth. Brookline not able to put any kind of damage into Cambridge's lead. The home team staying on top 7-4 as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be the 10-1 two hitters, Liam, Oliver, and Hugo. Coming up for Cambridge. As a car alarm goes off nearby. Bryce Hellendrung back out on the bump for Brookline after taking over at the tail end of that rough bottom of the third inning. Was able to get the out from the first batter he saw. We'll see how he follows that up with his potentially first full inning of relief here. All right, looks like the defensive alignment is that they moved Gewurz to second and Vankoski to third. First pitch to Liam hits the zone for strike one. Liam led off the bottom of the third as well. He went down on strikes and takes strike two. So Liam has now seen the plate in each of the last 3 innings. He was at the plate when a runner was caught stealing to end the second, led off the third, and now he leads off the fourth. That one just misses ball one. That one flew completely out of control for Hellendrung for a high ball 2. 2-2 the count to Liam. That one in the zone, strike 3. Hellendrung starts off the inning with a K. This is about the spot where Gewurz started to run into trouble last inning. Let's see how Hellendrung handles the top of the Cambridge order. Now batting the center fielder, Oliver. Takes strike 1. Oliver, so far today, 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. Ooh, did that one hit him? Yes, it did. A hit by pitch for Oliver, and he gets another free pass down to first. Looked like it hit him near the ankle, but he's shaking it off. He's okay. Runner at first, 1 out. Now batting the second baseman, Hugo. First pitch hits a grounder foul up the third base line, strike 1. Hugo so far today, 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Hellendrung throws to first, trying to keep Oliver honest there. Now Oliver goes. Pitch misses for a ball. Throw not in time as Oliver steals second. Oliver's second stolen base of the day. He took second his last time on the base paths as well. 1-1, the count to Hugo. And that one's going to miss high for ball 2. That's another big thing you're going to see a lot during the summer season if you're new to watching the summer ball. A lot of aggressive base running. That one misses for ball 3. You know, when the pitchers aren't throwing as fast as they might be in the spring season, and the catchers might not be as well developed, you know, you can sometimes just run rough shot. That's what a lot of teams do in this summer league. And that one is ball 4. Hugo with his second straight walk, and now we got runners at first and second. As up comes Cam, who I think is now playing first after Javi took over on the mound. Takes a high ball 1 there. Cam last time up hit that weird bouncer that got past Apollo. I wasn't sure if it was an E6 or a single because it took such a weird hop, it looked like. Takes ball 2 there. First time up, Cam drew a walk. He's got 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and an RBI so far today. Oliver going for third. It's a grounder on the hit and run, fielded by Gewurz. His throw is wild. Goes over the shortstop's outstretched glove. And another ball dropped by Brookline in the infield as the runners keep advancing. Another run comes in for Cambridge as they now lead 8-4. First pitch to the next batter is also going to miss for a ball. Now batting is Jake as he fouls that one off for strike 1. And boy, if you're Brookline, that's a really tough one to miss on. They had the potential for an inning-ending double play on that ball, but just could not complete the first throw. The entire infield pulled in now with runners at second and third and 1 out, meaning they're going to emphasize the play at the plate if a ball is hit on the ground. 2-1, the count to Jake. Jake 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, a run, and an RBI as that one hits the zone for strike 2. This one skied deep out to center, but it's being tracked out there by Kaufman. Makes the catch. Runner's going to tag. Kaufman went to third to make sure the other runner didn't advance. But the sac fly from Jake is going to bring in another run. In to score is Hugo. 2 down now. First pitch. I think that was called a strike, but man, I'm not sure. At the plate, the shortstop, Nico. Runner at second, 2 down. Runner goes. Throw to third, comes in high, and it's a successful steal for Cam. I think the count is 1-1. That one hits the zone, strike 2. That one comes in low, ball 2. 2-2, I think, is the count to Nico. It's either 2-2 or 3-1. That one hits the zone. Okay, it was 3-1. And so now it's 3-2. Payoff pitch misses high, and Nico draws a walk. Now coming up, the relief pitcher, Javi. First pitch hits the zone, strike one. Runner goes to second. Throw for the cutoff man. DePaulo goes to the plate, and he does not catch him. Coming in is Cam, as Cambridge reaches double digits. They've got 10. Nico successfully steals second. Cam succeeds on the double steal. As that one misses. I think that's ball 2, 2-1. Another one just misses. Ball 3. This one lined up the middle. That's going to be a single bobbled by Kaufman, but the runner held at third. It'll be a single to center for Javi. Another rough inning for the Brookline defense is now a timeout called, and a meeting at the mound with Hellendrung, and going to be a quick hook for him, or maybe not. No, they're going to stick with him. For a second, it looks like they were about to sub in Klein, but they're going to stick with Hellendrung, and I agree with that decision there. Already behind by a number of runs. It's been a tough inning for Hellendrung, but no reason to change pitchers at this stage, I would think, with 2 down still in the inning. First pitch to Campbell, going to miss for ball 1. Brookline is scheduled to play another game tomorrow, and I believe that one's going to be their home opener, as this one misses for ball 2. So that one tomorrow will be at Joe Campagna Field at Warren Playground in Brookline. As that one is strike 1. That one tomorrow will be an earlier start time since they don't have lights at the Brookline field. Throw back to first. Javi gets back. Campbell, his last time up, he drew a walk. Before that, grounded out to the pitcher, so 0 for 1 so far. That one's going to miss. Ball 3. 3-1 the count. And that one misses. Ball 4. Another walk for the Cambridge Bats. Loads the bases here. As up comes the catcher, Armando. Think that one missed for ball 1. That one gonna miss, ball 2. That one misses as well, ball 3. 1 ball away from a bases loaded walk. That would drive in run number 11 for Cambridge. And that's what it's going to be. A 4-pitch bases loaded walk for Armando. And another run trots in. They had bases empty with no outs, and then a skied ball here out to center is going to put an end to the inning as Issei flies out. But another big inning for Cambridge. They hang 4 more runs on the board. And now they are just 3 runs away from a potential mercy rule win. The rule for mercy rule in this league is 10 after 5, meaning that if a team takes a 10-run lead after the conclusion of at least 5 innings, then the game automatically ends. So if Cambridge were to hold Brookline scoreless in the top of the 5th inning here, and then Cambridge scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the inning, the game would end as soon as they scored that 3rd run, as it would effectively be a walk-off mercy rule win. For Brookline, they're hoping that they can stop that from happening, as they'll have their 10-1-2 hitters coming up. The top of their batting order gave them a spark back in the 3rd. They're hoping they can do that again here. (11-4) is the score as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Cambridge sticking with Javi on the mound. It'll be Gewurz, Vankowski, and Klein due up for Brookline. One drawback of playing these late into the night games under the lights is a lot of bugs come out. And as the guy using the electronics, that means I'm one of the main source of lights out here, which means I'm going to attract some attention with my laptop and my camera. Eli Gewurz fouls off the first pitch he sees, strike 1. Takes the next one high for ball 1. He was at the plate at the end of the top of the 4th inning when a runner was caught stealing to end the inning for Brookline. Hits a chopper over to 3rd, fielded by Campbell. Throw to 1st in time for out number 1. Again, you just throw strikes, and odds are good things happen. Now back to the top of the order for Brookline. At the plate, the 3rd baseman, number 19, Leo Vankowski, chases that one a bit high for strike 1. Vankowski 1 for 2 so far today with a fly out, a single, and a run scored as he takes a big cut at that one and again misses timing for strike 2. And again, catches air. 3 straight swings and misses for Leo Vankowski, and he's down on strikes. Now batting the first baseman, number 16, Noah Klein. Takes that one in the dirt for ball 1. Klein 1 for 2 so far today. Struck out in the first inning. Hit an RBI double to right in the third and later scored on DePaulo's home run. Takes a high ball 2 there. That one inside. Takes for ball 3. And that is going to be a 4-pitch walk for Noah Klein. Didn't get the ball 4 he wanted back in the first inning, but he's got it here as he trots down to first. Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Jimmy DePaulo. Skies one. Deep out to right, but within range. Caught by Issei for out number 3. DePaulo halfway to the cycle, but could not get another hit that time. Got jammed a bit inside. And now we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. And again, all Cambridge has to do is score 3 runs and they win this season opener on a mercy rule. It'll be Liam, Oliver, and Hugo due up for the 3rd inning in a row as Cambridge has batted around each of the last 2 innings. All while putting 10 runs on the board over those 2 frames. 6 in the 3rd and 4 in the 4th. All right, leading off for Cambridge, the right fielder, Liam. Takes a high ball 1. Liam 0 for 2 so far today with a pair of strikeouts. He has now appeared at the plate in 4 out of 5 innings. Takes strike 1 there. Of course, one of those, the at-bat did not finish because a runner was caught stealing while he was at the plate to end the 2nd inning. But since then, he's led off 3 consecutive innings now as he takes that one outside for ball 2. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. That one drops low, ball 3. Full count now to Liam. Helendrung trying to bounce back after a shaky 4th inning. And that one fouled off by Liam, stays alive with a full count. that's going to miss. Ball 4. And the walk virus continues to plague the Brookline defense. Now batting the center fielder, Oliver. Got the rally started in the 4th with a hit-by pitch. And got the rally started in the 3rd with a walk. Now he goes for a bunt and fouls it off for strike 1. Five free passes issued by Brookline pitchers in each of the last 2 innings. As this bunt is successfully laid down, Vankowski charging in. The throw goes wild. Wouldn't have caught him anyway. A weird ricochet keeps Oliver at first, but does advance Liam down to 3rd. So score that one, a bunt single for Oliver. Even without the bad throw, he was going to make it. However, Liam advances to 3rd on the E5. Oliver now going to 2nd, unopposed, as the pitch itself was strike 1 to Hugo. 2 in scoring position now for Cambridge. Again, they need just 3 to trigger the mercy rule. Infield pulled in for Brookline, as that one misses low and away, ball 1. Hugo 1 for 1 so far today with a single and 2 walks. And he skies one deep out to right center. That is going to clear the bases. Hugo pulls up at 2nd with a 2-run double. And Cambridge now just 1 run away from triggering the mercy rule with a runner in scoring position. First pitch, and that's bounced over to short. DePaulo fields it, throw to first in time for out number 1. Cam grounds out. Hugo advances to 3rd. 1 out in the inning, and the game-ending run just 90 feet away. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. At the plate, the left fielder, Jake, has gotten a few RBI already today. Hits a chopper, just barely misses hitting Hugo, and goes foul for strike 2. If that had hit him, he would have been out. Infield pulled in for Brookline. This one skied into shallow right. It's going to drop foul. And Klein sharing some wisdom with Bruin there, letting him know that if it's a foul ball, don't catch it, because then the runner can run home. Because it would basically be a sac fly at that point. Still an 0-2 count. Hits a high bouncer, foul again. They've moved Vankowski back to 2nd. They've put Cook Ryan at 3rd. Fouled, and you could hear the grunt from the ump. So that might have ricocheted off him. He just immediately bends over to brush off the plate and just walks that one off like a champ. Oof. 0-2 is still the count after a number of foul balls hit by Jake. Hugo stands at third as the potential game-ending run. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Takes strike 3 there. Big strikeout get for Hellendrung as he's trying to avoid the mercy rule ending. Now batting the shortstop, Nico. Now they need a base hit if they want to score that winning run, either a base hit or a wild pitch, as that first pitch misses outside for ball 1. Lifts this one out to center. Oh, Kaufman lost it in the darkness. And that's your ball game. A walk-off single into the night sky is how the ball game is going to end. The final score in 5 innings, Cambridge 14, Brookline 4. Well, a rough start to the season for Brookline. There were some high notes, and most of them came in the top of the 3rd inning with that powerful RBI double from Noah Klein and the even more powerful 2-run home run from Jimmy DiPaolo. First home run hit by this Brookline 18 and under team in 6 years. So a pretty momentous occasion there from Jimmy DiPaolo, but that's unfortunately where the good times kind of ended for Brookline, as the control just kind of left their pitchers there, allowing 5 free passes in each of the next 2 innings in the 3rd and the 4th, as Cambridge broke the game open. 6 runs in the 3rd inning, 4 in the 4th. And then in the 5th, the big crack of the bat from Hugo, a 2-run double, and then coming in to score on the RBI single from Nico to end the ball game. Brookline falls to 0-1. Cambridge improves to 1-0. Brookline will be playing again tomorrow evening with their home opener against Wilmington. That one's scheduled to start at 5:45 p.m. at Joe Campagna Diamond at Warren Playground in Brookline. You know, weather permitting, we have had some pretty awful weather this week, but we'll see if it stays clear tomorrow. Then we'll have another game on this channel. Be sure to be on the lookout for the link for that one. And thank you all so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. If you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video where you can find some helpful links, the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Food Pantry. You can also find some links related to me that you can see in the bottom right corner of your screen there. My personal website, jessesports.com. My email, if you would like to send me any questions, requests, or comments. And also my social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be posting Brookline's highlights from this game later tonight, both on this YouTube channel as well as on Instagram and Facebook. So be sure to be on the lookout for those. But that's going to do it here. Cambridge 14, Brookline 4 from St. Peter's Field in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.